This was the hardest question. I'm not so sure how to answer that credibly. Hi, my name is Mira. I'm a researcher at FSR Climate. I originally come from education policy, and that's really interesting because you look at how you educate people not only through schooling, but how we keep learning as a society, as adults. Right now in my research at FSR Climate, we're looking at public perceptions of climate policy. So that really does come down to what are the different spaces in which people learn about what it means to be part of a given environment, how do they learn what their responsibilities are, and that's where that policy analysis overlaps with this lens of the education of who we are. So the Florence School of Regulation is interesting, I think, on two levels. We take a research approach to what we do. We are researchers at heart, but we're not sitting behind closed doors, tucked away in a corner, never seeing the light of day. You have policymakers coming through, you have visiting scholars, you have workshops where you're working with key private sector actors. At any given point in time, in any month in the year, you have the opportunity at your doorstep to go and take your research to somebody, to learn from them from on the ground and let that feed back into what you're doing, to be part of a much wider debate that goes beyond the paper you're writing and actually brings it into relationship with the real world. I think the space of climate regulation is, on the one hand, becoming more harmonized. So we're building a greater consensus around the fact that these are issues that need to be tackled. I think the challenge, however, is that by mainstreaming, by bringing it into so many different spheres, you also have so many different more points of view coming into the climate debate. And that means a lot more conflict, more interests coming in, more layers, more intersections of how climate is affecting people, because now we're having to reconcile so many different interests when we have less and less time to do so. So I live in Siena, which is a small town about an hour away from Florence, and I love dividing my life between the two places. You have immediate access to greenery, to social spaces, to people enjoying the good weather, those little things that make your everyday and your week a lot fuller and a lot more enjoyable and balanced.